Okay, I did not make that. I just made that title up. I did not know this was gonna happen. Side stories. Oh, is this like a menu? Like an install thingy? I don't know. Mail? Oh, it sounds like Discord a little bit. What's that? I don't know, man. I didn't know this existed last time. The side stories are stories of friendship that are unrelated to the events of the main game. Oh, really? To get all 6 stories, try writing poems for different characters and viewing their special scenes. Yeah, I thought so. So it's not related, it's just a little... Oh, man! Well, of course it says side stories, but... Oh, man! Aww! I wanted to access some of the stuff. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna see if everything's okay. Whoop! Whoop, okay. Okay, we're gonna try and get the stuff done today. Right, we're here. Where were we at again? Hey, you can use the skip button, fast forward. Arigato. Not needed though. I just realized their waists are so thin. I noticed that. Oh my gosh, they're so thin. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Ugh, do we have to do something for the festival? It's not like we could put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. Damn, I can't do the right voices today. My voice was actually pretty sore after yesterday. Maybe it's a good idea. Yesterday. I don't really do well with last minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori's been working on posters and after designing some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us where we're actually going to be doing, what we're actually going to be doing for this event. I can't read for sheesh. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. We're performing? Monica. Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite their poems too. Tori's putting it on all the posters in case someone wants to prepare ahead of time. Oh no. Sarah, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think that it's bad of an idea? Is that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There is no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I can't do voices anymore. I agree with Natsuki. Yeah, girl. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys. No, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. I remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask of them to recite their poems that led to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. I'm so sorry. Nah, she knows exactly what she's doing. But... Huh? What the heck? I did not know what just happened there. I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. Ah, see, that's our last-ditch attempt. Last-ditch effort. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, that will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what Literature Club is all about. Yeah. It's about expressing your feelings. Being intimate with yourself. Okay. Finding new horizons. Okay. Huh? Okay. And having fun. Okay. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you up here in the first place? Brought you here in the first place. I know I do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is us standing in front of a room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. I'm here for you and cheering you on, yeah. I feel like crap today. Sorry. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but... It looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Whew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. This is so mean for her. It's so sad. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. Best. Yeah, that's these words. Best, not best. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way! Monica? This is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now, let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins reciting her poem. A clear, confident voice fills the room. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a deep breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica! Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Wow, Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. I've never had to do that, she's got guts, man. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri! It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? Hello! Oh, hi! I can't do any good voice lines today. I feel very crappy. As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. Oh, damn. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. It must be a rear glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed in her head, inside her head. Suddenly she's finished. Everyone is stunned. She blew us all away. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around to her as if she's bewildered even herself. Really? It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Yeah, girl! Everyone joins me afterwards, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applauded, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back to her seat. Yuri, that was really good! Thank you for sharing. Poor girl, she's gonna die inside now. She ain't already. Looks like Yuri's down for the count. Okay! Boop! I guess I'm next then. Sarah drops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Medal. Ah. Sorry, I giggled. Sorry. It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine yourself reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best way. The best that way. I see. Okay then. There begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made for as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this poem on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice, it almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Kitty liked it! I guess it's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fit you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. The next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Probably had me go before Curie. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Curie lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki. It's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for the day. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm really not as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that will prove over time though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah. I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. When she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She hops back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again. Ah, well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I could put on whatever face I want for other people. When it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I thought it'd be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you can all have an idea of what it's like now. That you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. The music stopped there abruptly and I was like, wait, what? Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nice so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday is the big day. Can't wait. I can do this. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club, and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Q, you don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I will call Miss Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. I just noticed my model keeps moving backward and forward because I'm rocking backward and forward. But today Sayori's been a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. Ah, no wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how he gets to... I mean... Sorry, I fumbles with her words. So, let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot there. I can't say no to Yuri! She's so shy and timid, like, duh! I'm sure Sayori would understand. I'm gonna be honest this gameplay, I don't want to repeat everything. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. You admitted it! Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe. But I'd just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? Need you? Sayori? I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. Yeah, it was. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Poem time! picking that'd be Natsuki. Depression. Tears. Heart. Spinning. Ah. Friends. Melancholy. Anxiety. Special. Rules. Nice. Ah, shit. I know. Oh, the zone? No, I didn't mean to press the phone. Wait, why would the zone count this far? No, Playground. Oh, shit. After image. Papa. Destiny. Lazy. Sleep. Question. Play. Biome. Perfect poem. Sayori. Eyes blue like the sky. Oh man. And the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. You are practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. But it's a whole day of school here where we get to go play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do you usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You, of all people? I didn't say I didn't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you, of all people? Because it's right there in your name. Monica. That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Never mind. You packed all your things. Wait, are you actually going? Are you going where I think you're going, dude? Wait, really? Could you be? Could he be? Are you going where I think you're going, dude? There's still congrats. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? You're not home? Fine. Your reactions weren't... Fine. Your reactions weren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. I didn't know you weren't at home. Bruh. You've been living somewhere else? Damn. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori's sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I made my hand in front of her face. Huh? You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course! Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Jeez, you worry too much about me. It's fine, see? I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Oh, okay, I see. Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glanced at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation is already dispersed, with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they might be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some paper at her desk. Cutie, what's up? Hey, this might be a little strange, but Have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber razor up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Cutie. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bother her. But this time, when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No! It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with a person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm just saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Cutie. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. Huh? She's been so much happier ever since she joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different than it has always been. You're so funny, Cutie. Have you ever thought that maybe you've always seen her so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry, what did I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smells meaningful. Sorry, Hodding. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her. And she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her, and I have to have fun with everyone else. But that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Share some more poems first. Hi, Kitty! Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, now being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Uh-oh, stream's dropping for a sec. The stream connection just dropped all of a sudden. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I'll let Monica take the poem and hold it in my hands. Aha! It's kind of funny. So, not the poem. Uh-oh. The internet's really messing up. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? We have? Well, yeah, I guess so, right? But I don't think we have been that much. Then again, you have been spending a lot of time with each other recently, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Well, we kind of grew up as best friends. I haven't been seeing her as much. I haven't been seeing as much of her this past year. Because as I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me. About how Sayori's been acting a little bit off today. Yeah, should tell you something? Ah, well, Akiri, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. I've been treating her like I always do. Alright. Just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her, so keep an eye on her. Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since she joined the club. I'm guessing the happiness is starting to die down then, maybe? What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders the earth. The Lady Who Knows Everything. Okay, yep, bye, dude. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day... Oh! Internet dropped again! Until one day, the mind as wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall and fall and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes to find that no end in her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amounts to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. Dying. Right, okay, I'm back. Sorry, the internet stopped for a bit. But it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we all had the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? Yeah, probably. There's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know it better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Ah, yeah, that. Possible brick. Anyway. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri. One sec, sorry, yawning. Oh boy. Well done, cutie. You've definitely improved your writing style over the course of these few days. Here's my advice. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this is a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. I think we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore, but it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's been fun getting to know everyone and their writing. And I guess doing some writing myself. Well, have you learned anything about yourself, cutie? Well, you know, I like to say writing... Well, you know how I like to say writing is a very personal way to get in touch with yourself? In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. And even my opinions are just opinions, you know? As always, I believe what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. I'm kind of glad... Well, I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. Huh? Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing and have the most advice to share. Is that so? Yuri, thanks for giving it. That must be terrible. For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome. How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. It just means that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come to those sort of conclusions. Sorts. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. Yuri. What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Alright. You want to share your poems now? Share your poem now? Okay. Here. Beach. Oh god, I can't read this. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface, under a clear blue sky and expanse of bliss, but breathing great, but beneath grey rolling clouds and endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet. But where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in? Or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same. Yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle, yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils, turn back, and I abandon my peace to erode at the shore, drift forward, and I return to Earth forevermore. She writes a lot about death things, doesn't she? I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane place to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. You say it like you didn't even want to write about it. Oh, haven't you heard? After yesterday, Natsuki and I, well... It was amusing that we wrote about about something similar in such different ways. So Natsuki wanted us to write about the same topic as each other again. I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing styles, or our thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she'd want to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. Well, I suppose it's not bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? They're gonna start respecting each other. It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Sorry. This is your best one so far. It's really nice, cutie. Alright, thanks. Sorry, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything alright? Huh? Of course! Everything is fine. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Do you want a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? All you want to see is a smile on your face. Oh, alright. Hey, cutie. I'm still a little surprised. I really thought that you would try writing your poems, like the way Yuri does. Or even Natsuki. But in the end, yeah. I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? Why don't you want to get closer with everyone else? Wait! Of course I do! That doesn't mean I need to try so hard to impress them, shouting out loud. I still understand you the most, Yuri. I know you have to sometimes put up with me. And I have to sometimes put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something. And this is how the poem came out. Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. So sometimes it's just easier to write than to write when thinking about you. Sayori? No. Cutie. I don't deserve this. Oh no, she's having a little laugh. You're too nice to me. Why wouldn't you be? Why are you doing this? Sayori's trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori? I glanced around the room to make sure nobody has noticed us. Sayori, I've probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles to keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself to put on and puts on a smile. It's nothing, cutie. It's just a little rain cloud. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Just smiles from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. I'll play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out the classroom humming to herself. Next key. There, go! This one's alright. Alright. Well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're doing, what you're going for, but it's not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad that you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. Hiya! Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? Eh? No! Gross! It's not like I care. Just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? That's, it's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun hanging out here, even if I have to put up with you. Gah! That's because elbows connect with my stomach. Elbow. Maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, because that's what I did last time. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway. Natsuki holds her poem out to me like nothing ever happened. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminish your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap. In a way you thought in the way you thought I'd left you long ago. Alright, let's see. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand. Bathe in the sunbeam and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail. Set you free in my windy sail. I remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap. In a way you thought I'd left you long ago. But if you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. Aww. Yeah. I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kinda hard to write anything negative about the beach. Well, Yuri's take on it was a little more solemn. Well, she better not have said anything bad about mine. After all, she was the one who wanted us to write about the same topic. Can you really see her doing that too? She lied to me? Making us write about a simple topic and trying to impress by coming up with something all fancy? No, I believe Yuri, I think. Well, it's not like I care. Sure it's not. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. There's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. Yes, he's both know it. He's both do it. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me or did you say something strange this time? Yeah. Eh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. A catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Staggering air is calling foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah. It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. Ah, she actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Yeah, hopefully, huh? Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No! First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me a day, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? That curious expression coming from Yuri of all people? Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier. Sorry, what did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right, Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them, and different flavors. Can you handle it all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. As for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. And now Natsuki's pouting too? Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit. But I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case. If I can't also be a leader of my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know. So you should make some banners and decorations to set up the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk and focuses and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, I just leave you, Cutie. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have a pretty heavy task to handle. It'd probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You'd always help me out as well. I'd be really appreciative of that. It's Monica's suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. A little bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I can give you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, but you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. That made me sound kind of mean there. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Cutie may not like to be around you if you only made him out to be a nuisance. So, therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. Trying to twist her words. Okay, I think Yuri lied now, huh? How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? It sounds like you're just making out excuses for Cutie to... What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? What do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Cutie to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know. True-ish, huh? I'm not sure he's interested in... You literally just said. I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Cutie, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. Of course, I'm gonna go alone. I'm gonna go with... I mean, if it's gonna be anyone, then I prefer helping Sayori. I mean, we're already neighbors and... but Monica said Sayori was helping her. Jeez. Do you really hate us that much? No. Sorry, I didn't aim for this to be difficult. Just think of the club, okay? Well, I guess I should probably be helping Monica. Yeah, you picked me! Hold on a second. Yeah. Monica, you're the one who needs the least help out of all of us. Huh? Well, I agree with Natsuki. Not only is your work already most suitable for one person, but you already have Sayori as well. But Cutie was the one who... that doesn't matter. You were the one who scared him into picking you in the first place. You're the club president, Monica. You're supposed to make responsible decisions for the club. Monica, you shouldn't let your ulterior motives interfere with this decision. Ulterior motives? What are you saying, Yuri? In fact, it sounds like you guys are the ones with ulterior motives. Excuse me? Otherwise, this wouldn't have been made into such a big deal in the first place. That's completely false, Monica. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, you know. We won't do as good of a job if you make us work alone. Maybe that's true. Think of the club, Monica. If we want our event to succeed, then we must appropriately distribute our resources. So are you going to do the right thing, President? Okay. Natsuki seems like the logical option. I mean, Yuri can do crafting on her own. I get it. it's technically most logical for Kiri to help one of you two. So, I guess it's what we'll do. Do you have a preference, Kiri? Well, baking sounds like it could be fun. You guys made it sound like a lot of work, so it could probably use 2 people. Don't worry. Baking is a ton of fun. I know it is, I love bacon. As in baking, not bacon. You'll definitely agree. Just a minute ago you were saying that... that's because... Never mind, okay? Well, anyway, you'll be fine by yourself, right, Cutie? Right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it after all. Oh, she's dying. Oh, she upset. She angry. That's good. Even though Yuri's being melodramatic, it's a little hard to not feel bad. So that's everything, right? Anything else we need to talk about? No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes, I am! I meant to say that reference. Everything except the performance is gonna be awesome. I don't think that really counts. What about you, Cutie? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it all turns out. How it will turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking. He starts petting too. It's not... I mean, it's not a big a deal or anything. Well, it might not just be that. Huh? I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated. Underappreciated is in general. Having to come up with something for her to do and nobody offering to help. That doesn't mean... Natsuki glances back and forth between everyone with a worried expression. Look, Natsuki goes over and... Natsuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulders. Yuri, you really are the most talented one here. And you're going to help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will help a lot too, probably help a lot too. But you're going to make the atmosphere special. That'll be really important for the way that people feel during the performances. So, you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a lot more credit. Natsuki releases her hands and turns around to face in the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you? Not really, but... You're isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken back by Natsuki's words. And I might have to stop streaming the day I don't want it because it's gonna mess up the schedule. Natsuki of all people to be saying such encouraging things. But I begin to understand. Natsuki was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm going to do my best. And all of us are going to make it a really great event. Yeah. Yeah! I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I barely got to do anything today, any reading today, so... Fair enough, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Yuri at the door as they chat between each other. Where are you going? We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gotten home and realized that you didn't have a way to contact me. Oh, that's true. I have no idea how that slipped my mind. Jeez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? You better not make it weird or anything. Why would I do that? Natsuki gives me her number. Okay. I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. Wait, you're coming to my house? Well, yeah. What's wrong with that? I mean, I just figured that since I'm the one helping, I'd be going to your house. Yeah, right. Like I could have a guy over at my house. My dad would kill me. Really? That's kind of strict if you ask me. Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can't do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just need you to complain for a second. Anyway, I just need to complain for a second. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. I guess I'll text you when I'm coming over. Alright, fine by me. Yeah. I'm really gonna show you why I love baking so much. So you better look forward to it. Oh? I didn't say you were just going to give me... Did you just say you were going to give me dirty work? The dirty work? Well, I was just saying that. It's like I could act like... in front of everyone. That I was looking forward to this. Wait, really? Well, kind of. Just because I never got to go bake with someone else before. That's all it is, so... Alright, I get it. It's hard for overreacting. Anyway, I'll be heading out now. See you on Sunday. Ah. Never mind. I can't believe this. Nesky's going to be coming to my house on Sunday? If I knew I would have preferred to do this with Sayori. My anxiety still shoots through the roof. I guess I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point. But who knows what might end up happening when we're outside of school. She even told me she was looking forward to it. I shake my head. I'd have to feel nervous that Sayori finds out about this. It's not like we feel that way about each other. Besides, like Monica said, this is about the club. I have nothing to worry about. If I just go with it, then I'll have a good time. Yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I'm sorry, I really don't feel great. I might come back and stream later, but right now I can't. I'm sorry, I need to go lie down.